Welcome back for another unboxing video. Today I'm very excited to open the box of Davy Jones' Locker, The Kraken Wakes. A game designed by Zach and Katie Jacob and published by Putcat Games. A game that plays around 30 minutes per player, 1 to 5 players, ages 14 and up. And it's a game that has a lot of mechanisms and a lot of interesting aspects in terms of gameplay. Just to list a few, you can find into the game mechanisms of hexagon grid, multiple maps, role-playing, trading, variable player powers, variable setup. It's a co-op game, it has action events, it has dice rolling, and it has also two distinct acts, Act 1 and Act 2, where the Act 2 you flip the board and you play versus the Kraken, which is a boss battler. Of course, you have to prepare during Act 1 and explore and have adventures, like any good pirate. So the game falls under the categories of card games, with fighting, with miniatures, with nautical theme, and of course pirate-themed games. The theme is very interesting and it's very unique. It's not your typical, usual pirate game. It has a character, it has its own, I should say, place in my library, because it's very unique, and I'm very excited to try this one out. So the theme is very interesting. Something is lurking in the depths of Davy Jones. We've heard the stories, ships being ripped in half by a giant creature, maelstrom swallowing ships into the sea, and a dead sea creatures washing ashore with strange markings. The tides are changing, and not for the better. The stories have struck fear in even the most fearless captains. They have decided to band together and prepare for what evil may be waking. Choose your ship, make sail to the ports, and gather everything you can to ready your ship before it's too late. Davy Jones' Locker, The Kraken Wakes, is a cooperative pirate-themed game for 1 to 4 players, split into 2 acts. In Act 1, players will be using up actions to move around the map, upgrade their ships as much as possible before Act 2 begins. Exploring ports, visiting markets, defeating raiding ships, exploring shipwrecks, and battling naval ships are just a few of the ways players can gain stat increases, gold, or even equipment for their ships. Throughout Act 1, players will also encounter odd stories, pods of beheaded whales, strange markings, pools of red in the middle of the sea, and stories of ships being dragged down to Davy Jones from nowhere. As the stories grow more present, so does the reason behind them, the Kraken. Once the Kraken wakes in Act 2, then players will be sucked into a huge whirlpool and have to fight through the Kraken and its 8 tentacles and ever-changing whirlpool currents. Ships will sink, but that doesn't mean that they're out of the fight. Other players can rescue them, the stranded crew, from the ship, allowing them to man parts of their own ship and keep pushing through the battles to send the Kraken back down to Davy Jones' Locker. So, the game was funded on crowdfunding on Kickstarter. Then there was a second reprint, Kickstarter with a reprint of the game, and a very interesting expansion, which brings the ghost ships, which is called Davy Jones' Locker, Curse of the Ghost Ship expansion. So let's focus here on this one. This is the Kickstarter version, so you can see that there is very interesting and very unique in terms of aesthetics and art game, pirate-themed game, which has 2 distinct acts, and I'm really triggered and hyped about this, because the first portion of the game is to prepare, to get your stats up, to explore, to investigate, and the second portion of the game is a nice boss battle, thematic boss battler. So let's put the cover aside. It's a big box, quite heavy, I should add. So let's start by maybe checking quickly the rulebook. Now, the rules are not complex from what I'm reading online, and even though there's quite a lot of details and examples, it's a very straightforward game. Here's the components of the game. You can have the double-sided board. You have double-sided ship boards, 5, 1 for each player. You have the Kraken board. You have coins, you have explore tokens, you have stat cubes, you have deckhand, different market tokens. You have, of course, the Kraken head and its 8 tentacle miniatures. And of course you have 5 vessels, 1 for each player. There is a variety of cards. Here you have 20 ship ability cards. You have port decks, Ship Reef port decks, Remedy Cove port decks, and Mutineer Bay port decks. Overlay ties which change the board and make a very unique experience every time. Standees, lots of event cards, open sea cards, shipwreck cards, crack modifiers, whirlpool cards, treasure cards, and you get the idea. Lots and lots of cards. Very unique wooden dice, compass dice, leak dice, integrity dice, and tentacle life dice. Here's the game setup, how you set up for Act 1. The map is really unique. It has a very old treasure map vibe kind of style, which I really dig, to be honest. It's very different from what I've seen so far, and I like it for that reason. Same goes for the player boards and the Kraken board, etc. So here's how you set up your own player board with your specific ship, which has you know, their color, their name, and their stats, and their ability, of course. Everything is explained, how you set up the rest of the game. Then how you start playing the game. You have the phase 1 where you draw and resolve an event card, and then you have the phase 2 where players take their turns. And during their turns they'll be able to do different things: sail, trade, repair, plunder, attack, explore ports, visit the market, explore shipwrecks, and gain their benefits, hunt, smuggle, and bolster. Once Act 2 begins, the Kraken wakes. So you have to set up, you have to flip the board, you have to set up the board from the back side of the main board, and the Kraken head with the tentacles will emerge. Here's the Kraken board, and very interesting boss battler, and the round structure for Act 2. I really like how these are very two distinct and unique modes of the game, so it brings a lot of variety. So you also flip your board, you see. And when you get when some of the players are destroyed and never truly eliminated, they can be picked up and rescued from other players, and they can help them on their own vessel. And that's a really interesting take on player elimination, which is none actually, so really good. There's also solo mode, there's semi-co-op mode, there's a 5-player mode, Act 2 only mode, so you do the boss battler, and there's some FAQs. So here's all the details from the rulebook, so let me just put it aside. I really appreciate this single leaflet, which has a nice photograph and shows everything where it can be placed in the very nice game trace insert. So that's very useful. I struggle a lot of times if this is missing, and I really applaud the companies who take the effort and the resources to do so. It's very much needed. We really like having that in our games. So now let's take everything out from the rest of the components. They have this protective white cardboard, just not to mix with the colors of the boards, so very nice of them. So I should maybe first just deploy the main board. Now, something that immediately comes into my mind is that this board looks much nicer up close. It's a linen finish flat cardboard with a great quality, as you can see. Flat, sturdy, with nice detail. But what I'm trying to say is because of the ambient colors of the treasure map style, you know, they may look a bit faded from the, you know, from images or maybe even from this screen. I don't know how you look at it. What I'm trying to say, by having this in front of my eyes, this looks even better. That's what I'm trying to say. So this is the board for Act 1. Let me just put it aside. And this is the board for Act 2. And in Act clearly you have the tentacle head of the Kraken, the Kraken head, and then you have the tentacles around, which you have to damage while you're trying to maneuver around, and you have the whirlpool. So a really interesting dynamic change on the gameplay. Of course, you have to defeat the Kraken in order to win the game. It goes without saying, right? So this is the main board. And there's another protective white cardboard here, so very well thought production. So we have 5 player boards, one for each player, which are dual-sided. Look at the thickness of this beast. Oh, come on, this is huge, right? So these are color-coded based and named differently based on the different players and ships. Yeah, but what I really also like is the recessed board. These are really sturdy and quality boards. You can immediately understand when you pick them in your hand. And then on the flip side you have the rescue deckhands, where you use the backside when you switch to Act 2. Here's an area for your should say ability. Very nice indeed components. This is a Kraken board, again recessed, extremely thick, linen finish, matte and durable. Thick in my book. I don't know, everything I would have wanted, it's there. Right, so you won't see the Kraken from this side of the board, you need to go on Act 2 so it reveals, but I'm just going to show you the Kraken head, which looks huge, very hefty and heavy and chunky miniature, which of course if you paint it, it's going to look marvelous. It looks even marvelous like that, right? And then maybe it's a nice opportunity to see the two extra game trays inserts. One is for the components, everything is going to go in the nice trays. This is very sturdy, by the way. And here is the second tray with the miniatures. You have the tentacles and the player ships. So these are very nice minis, and you know, when again you have to envision it from the back side, but you can see that it looks absolutely stunning with different heights and postures and sizes, and you can see they look really nice, and they give this massive effect of a Kraken, as you would expect. Not a small mini taking one hex, but a huge mini with a huge head, and then the tentacles rising from the depths of the sea. Absolutely stunning. Really enjoy the quality here. And then we have the nice ship miniatures. These are really nice. For the different player colors, they have their assorted their matching player board. Again, these are different size and shape, so these are not just different colors. If you look closely, you'll see that there are small differences even in the number of sails and masts, etc. So very nicely done. I suppose this shows the different asymmetry of the players they can have, right? Okay, so then we have some overlays, and these are really nice because these go onto the main board based on the rules of placement. Okay, I'm just placing them randomly now, and they change a lot the setup, and they give a different map, modular map every time. So I'm just placing some of them randomly. Good quality linen finish, thick cardboard, again, nothing to add here. Fantastic quality actually for all of the components. These are some shipwrecks, as you can see, that you can go and explore. And here we can have also, how these are called, the explore tokens, sorry, these are the explore tokens. Yeah. Then you also have the raiding ships, and you can have standees for those instead of tokens. I think this was Kickstarter extra, if I'm not mistaken. And they're bases, so that you can have also these as standees when they appear around the board. Cool. And then the second and last punch board has some additional overlays, as you can see. Next thing I should mention is you have these ship abilities, and these are really nice. You see, you have one per color, sorry, two per color, and they have different ability for Act 1 and different ability for Act 2, and depending on which one you choose, you have also an overall very different, unique experience in terms of the main ability they have for each of the acts. Really nice. Okay, Yes, you're still watching the unboxing of the core game. So here they are the compass dice. Nice blue with cardinal directions, southeast, southwest, north, south, etc. Okay. These are the league dice. You have 10 of those. Nice and blue with large numbers, very nice and qualitative dice. These are interesting, the tentacle life dice. You have 8 of those. These are D4s, and these are very unique, both in terms of color and looks. I like them, I dig them. And last but not least, we have the integrity die. The integrity dice, these are, they have a marble effect. These are very nice luxury dice. We also have. Then we have the deck hands. Deck hands come in a total of 15, 5 for each player. These are unique. Look at that, look at that, this is marvelous. Very, very unique. I've seen a lot of pirate meeples, but these are one of a kind. Gorgeous. Okay, then we have some cubes. These are the stat cubes that you have for each player color, matching their vessel. Okay. We have some standee bases for the raiding ships. We have some really nice wooden dice, and I've heard someone else saying it, and I tend to agree also. Not just because I heard it and it fixed my mind, but I also tend to agree. Typically, I'm not a big fan of wooden dice, but for this game, with this aesthetic and with this look, it's natural to have natural wood dice. Okay, it would have looked, I don't know, alien if it was plastic. All dice were plastic like that, you know what I mean? These are very, very unique. These are the fortune dice, and they have to be wooden, in my opinion. I really like that they went with this mixture in different shapes and sizes and material. Right, coins. It wouldn't be a pirate game if we didn't have nice golden coins, and it wouldn't be a pirate game if we didn't have, I don't know, luxurious golden coins. They're not just golden, they are really, really vivid gold. Okay, very, very nice, nice and heavy. So these are our gold coins, and there's a lot of those. Okay, and the last thing we have is 2 huge decks of cards that I'm going to open now, just to show you very functional bottom part for the insert with places for the player boards, you know, the components, and everything should stay in place once you're done with the unpunching, etc. Now there is a ton of cards, and even though I had a chance to briefly go through some online material to learn more about the game, and I'm excited about it, I need to read the rulebook really carefully, and I'm going to do before I go to start playing the game. So I'm going to cover the game with a lot of content, because I really dig the theme. Again, just to show you here the different cards. Maybe I should split them by type, and maybe we should also remove the wrap of both of the decks so that I can show you a bit of the anatomy, if you wish, from each of those cards. Right, so we have a deck, a Remedy Cove deck with the market, and here there is different variety of cards. There's text, there's symbols. It looks very nice, and I don't know. Well, here we also have art. Okay, I like the black and white approach, because again it fits the theme of the game and the aesthetics of the game. It looks really nice. Again, this is just a personal opinion. Right, then let's continue with the rest. We have a lot of open sea cards. Okay, look at the tentacle here. Very nice art. And here is also a variety of cards. There is a lot of text. I'm fine with that, but just mentioning in case you were expecting something less, or you're, you know, you're wondering if this is language independent. Definitely it's language dependent, the game. Yeah. We have another deck. Oh, more OpenSea cards. More OpenSea cards. And these are a bit different. Cursed Waters, Giant Reach, because they have the tentacles around them. Nemesis, etc. I don't know if you just mix them or not. I need to read the rules, but the back of those cards is exactly the same. Okay. Then we have a lot of event cards with a nice map and compass at the back. And here you see the different events. The font is larger here because I like they go with smaller or larger font depending on the space they have. So that's, you see, that's very nice. I do prefer it. Makes it easier to read. Okay. Then some shipwreck cards. And here is also story text, and then it's the event. Okay. We have Whirlpool cards. There is a ton of decks and different cards here. I suppose this is for the if I'm not mistaken, if enough of those cards come into play, then you enforce the beginning of Act 2, if I'm not mistaken. I need to refresh my memory on the rules, which is going to be soon after I finish this unboxing video. Then Shipwreck Reef, Explore deck, and Market. Okay. Oh, these are really nice. Look at the sketches here. They're very thematic. Okay. Nice. And then we have the Siren's Grotto. Again, Market and Explore, I should think. Yeah, exactly. Here are the Market ones, where you have the different sketches also illustrated. The respective market decks are the ones with the sketches. Really nice. I'm really digging what I see so far, to be honest. Then we have the Mutineer's Bay. These are different locations, of course, on the map. Explore and Market in a similar fashion. There you go. I'm just focusing on the sketches because the text doesn't make any sense. It will make sense when you play the game, or when I play, I should say. Okay, last but not least, we have Treasure deck. I like the fact that the back of those decks is very, very different. This helps a lot with distinguishing one from the other. They're very, very different and unique, and I think especially in a game where you have a lot of cards, that helps a lot in a way. And just to conclude with the rest of the cards, we have some play rates, from what I can see here, for Act 1 and Act 2. Different colored infamy score. Nice, really nice. Could have been generic for each of the players. These are different. Some flood cards. Okay, unique. And there we have also some black spot cards and some treasure galleon. And these are horizontal. I think these are the only ones that I see which are horizontal. Right, for some reason there were also these extra ones, which I suppose these are Kickstarter extras, because yeah, there's some more flat cards that should replace, or at least they should add to the ones in this deck, I suppose. Okay, cool. Cool. Right. So I think you have everything in front of you in terms of components of the core game. Again, just to remind you, we've been seeing all the contents from Davy Jones' Locker, the Kraken Wakes, the core game. It's a fantastic production, for sure. I can say that without hesitation. It's a very interesting promise, this two-act game. Very nice components, very qualitative production, so looking forward to get this one on the table. Stay tuned for more content from our channel. Hope you enjoyed this video, and let me know if you already tried the game or what you think about it. Many thanks for watching.